Hey there, hey friends, Ken here, your Thrifty Apprentice, and in today's video, we are tackling a cute little Christmas gnome. Merry Christmas, everyone. It is Christmas Day, and I hope that you are enjoying your friends, your family. And I just wanted to throw up a quick little illustration for you guys, just in case you needed some inspiration for that last minute Christmas card or maybe that last minute little gift tag. This is a little Christmas gnome, and I'm going to be doing him in ink and wash. So I started out with a little cute sketch transferred into this Potenate 100% cotton cold press 140 pound sketchbook. It is actually a really decent paper. I've been enjoying using both their cold press and their hot press in these little mini thumbnail size journal sketchbooks. They've been absolutely great. And ironically enough, I'm finding that I like the quality of the paper. So I started out using my Creative Mark black fine liners that I picked up from Jerry's Autorama well over a year ago, and they are still going and kicking really well. So I'm inking in this illustration, and I'm actually going to be using the ink to color in parts of the hat. I just wanted to do something really simple, straightforward, that would be easy, something that you could get through quickly with no problems. Now, I've only done one other illustration on this paper, and that one was the little jingle bell we did a couple of videos back. I'm not sure if you've seen it. If not, do be sure to go check it out. It's another great little Christmas inspired painting that you could also do in the form of a card or maybe a little gift tag to stick on that last minute Christmas present. Now, I am actually working on this video Christmas Day. And as I do this voiceover, I'm thinking that I really need to try to get this video up so that anyone who is seeing their families this evening that wanted to use this as inspiration for some type of creative gift could do it. I am so sorry I didn't get a video up earlier this morning around 10 a.m. when I normally do my pre-recorded releases. But you know, it's Christmas Day and it was Christmas morning. So I was doing all of the things family and friends Christmas. Now the day is starting to wind down and it's almost dinner time. But I did want to take time to touch bases with my artistic family and say hello, Merry Christmas, and give you something that you could do. Hey, in any shape, form, or fashion that you wanted to. If you want to blow it up and make it a bigger composition, by all means, go ahead and do that. If you want to save it to teach it a little later on, you can do that as well. Now, jumping back into what I'm doing with the illustration, which is what kind of why you guys are here, right? So I am still inking in the parts of the hat that I was using. And of course, the black will be the darkest value in this composition. Now, ink and washes are really great ways to get through a really quick composition. It's going to help you kind of eliminate, a lot of the major work. And if you do it on toned paper, then that also gives you a background. I was okay with doing this on white because I really felt like it was going to help the colors that I was putting on the gnome kind of stand out and pop. Now, I am using Holbein HWC professional watercolors in order to do this composition. And this is actually kind of rounding out the last composition that I'm going to be doing with these paints before I decide to drop the review. I've done quite a few paintings over the month of December with it. I really wanted to take my time to test this paint simply because I've heard so much about it. And there are so many good reviews on the paint that I was actually kind of excited to see how its formula would fit into my painting style and if it would impress me more than any of the other professional watercolors that I have here. What I've discovered is that when it comes to professional watercolors, you're really just looking for those small nuances of difference because across professional ranges, you're getting a better quality than you would with student grade. So you're not seeing as many issues with a professional quality paint as you would with a student. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my student grade paint. There are many brands out there that I feel are immaculate and wonderful to work with. So I'm not knocking student grade paints at all with anything that I'm saying. I'm only speaking to that when it comes to switching over to the professional side of things, you start to get qualities and brands that are closer together based on the formulations. So when it comes to deciphering the difference between those brands, you're really just looking for the small things. But anyway, I'm getting too deep into that. Here I've gone ahead and used the sap green of the set in order to color in the stripes or where the little balls are on the cap. In his little shoes, I think he's so adorable. I used some red. Maybe it's permanent red. I'm not sure what the color is exactly because I don't have them here in front of me. It may have been rose madder. I think that's what it is, but that's what I used to do his little nose. And I was sure to leave a white spot so it have a highlight on it and help kind of round the nose out. Now, the brim of his cap and everything else, which is all mustache and beard, is going to be base coated with a really light wash of gray, which was mixed from ultramarine blue and a burnt sienna. And after giving that time to dry, I'm going to go back in and do a little detailing just to separate all of that kind of plain, undetailed area. I took a little bit of the sap green and mixed it with ultramarine blue in order to get a more saturated, darker value. And I used that to go along the side of the cap that would be shadowed. So in this particular illustration, the light is coming from the right side. So you'll notice that I did not shadow the right side of the cap. Just trying to give some dimension and roundness to the actual picture. These are the effects that we use to turn a flat 2D image into more of a 3D, not necessarily 3D feel, but give it more roundness, make it a little bit more realistic-ish. So here I'm just going in and adding in those little details that would make the mustache and the beard the beard. The concentration with the water to paint ratio in this particular gray is a little bit more paint than water simply because I wanted that to stand out. But still I wanted it to be light. It's not nearly as dark as the value of the ink. And I'll do the same thing with the beard area. And basically, all I'm doing is following the direction of the area that I'm painting using linear strokes, and they are running vertically. The mustache up top, right up under the nose. The linear lines followed the shape of the mustache, but they ran sort of horizontally and diagonally if needed to. And you know, that's actually the entire premise of this little gnome. Really quick, really cute. You could stop there if you wanted to. I decided I would keep going and I changed the actual color of the brim of the cap. I just put on a light wash of the darker green that I had mixed. Since it was already shadow color there, I felt like, it was just shadow it a little more. Give it a little color contrast and difference. I wanted to add a little shimmer. It is a Christmas painting. So I grabbed my Paul Rubens glitter watercolors. They're probably the most opaque glitter watercolors that I've had the opportunity to use. I do have Art Wells glitter watercolor, and I think that these are just a tad bit more opaque than those. But I like the Art Wells as well. I think that they're a really cool budget-friendly set, and they're really opaque and shimmery. So I originally painted the little ball areas with the gray shimmer. I didn't like the way that looked, so I took the gray shimmer and mixed it with a little bit of the black paint from the Holbein. So it was still shimmery, but it gave me more of a black shade, and I feel like that blended in a little bit better. Then I decided to add some of the green metallic watercolor directly from the pan on top of the brim to make it shine. And I'm also going to add it to the bottom of the shoes to make those shine as well. So once that actually dries and becomes more opaque, all of that will have a glimmer to it. To wrap everything up, I need to put a little shadow up under my guy here just to connect him to the ground that he's sitting on so it doesn't look like he's floating in the air. I'll put down a light wash of gray, and once that dries, I'm going to go back in and put down a darker strip simply because it will be darker where he connects directly to the surface that he's sitting on. After that, friends, I'm going to sign it, and that's going to wrap everything up. Merry Christmas, and remember, as I always tell you, my friends, just keep creating.